back to another Easy Cooking for Kids online recipe. Today I'll be cooking for you a balanced blueberry bread. Now, we will be using hot surfaces and a mixer, so parent supervision is advised unless you're over the age of 11 and have experience. Alright, let's get started. Alright, so to get started, you're going to want to go ahead and take 5 tablespoons of butter and put it in the microwave for about a minute or until it's completely melted. So now you're going to go ahead and take 1.5 cups of flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, and then a teaspoon of salt. And you're just going to go ahead and sift it all together, and all with a wooden spoon, because that's the equivalent to sifting. And all that does is get the air pockets. So now we're going to go ahead and take 2 lemons and we're going to get the zest off them. And how you do that is it's basically like grating cheese, and you take like a cheese grater and you're going to just grate it like this and rub it back and forth. And you can get a parent to help you since this can be a little difficult. And you're going to go ahead and just zest the entire lemon and mix it in with the melted butter. And you're going to do the same thing with the second. Now once you zest your lemons, they should look like this and have a whiter color. And what you're going to do is you're going to cut the lemons in half, and you're going to go and juice them and mix them into the butter as well. And that's just really simple. You just squeeze them like this. And you want to make sure you don't drop any seeds into there. So now you're going to go ahead and take out a mixer, and you're going to add in your lemon and butter mix. Then you're going to go and put in 2 eggs. And finally, you're going to go and put in 1 cup of sugar. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take your dry mix that you've made, and we're going to do the milk alteration with it. So the dry mix and then the wet mix, and then the dry mix and then the wet mix. And so that you start with the dry mix and end with the wet mix. So you're going to start by putting about 1/3 of this into the mixer, then 1/3 of the milk, then 1/3 of this, then 1/3 of the milk, then 1/3 of this, and then finally the milk. So 1/3 of the dry mix, and we're going to start the mixer and put it on a low speed. And then 1/3 of the milk. And all this is doing is keeping it from getting super duper messy and splashing back at you. Somewhat of a liquidy batter. And what you're going to want to do is take 2 tablespoons of flour, and you're going to mix it in with the blueberries. And what this does is this makes sure that when you put the blueberries in with the mix, that they won't sink to the bottom of the bread. And you're just going to go and you're going to mix the blueberries with the flour so they're completely coated. And then you're just going to take them and you're going to put them in your mix and mix it by hand so you don't squash any of them. Now remember, before you use the blueberries, you're going to want to have washed them. Okay, so you're going to take a loaf pan over here, and you're going to take some non-stick spray, and you're going to spray it in the pan very lightly so that when you put your bread in here, when it's baking, it doesn't stick to the pan and end up ruining it when you try to. So now we're going to take the batter and we're going to go ahead and empty it into the loaf pan and just fill up the entire thing as much as you can. And then you're going to just spread out the batter onto the bottom of the pan. Our oven should be at 350 degrees, and if you preheated it, this won't be a problem. You could have just waited for it to heat while you were preparing. And you're going to take your bread, and with oven mitts, so that you don't burn yourself, you're going to go ahead and put it in the oven for about 1 hour and 10 minutes. While we're waiting for the bread to bake, we're going to go ahead and make a nice finishing glaze. Now, you're going to want to get 1/4 cup of powdered sugar and 1 lemon that you're going to cut in half. Now, the reason you squeeze the lemon like this is in case there are any seeds, they fall into your hand. So now you're going to take a small spoon and mix this together. And this is going to make it a little whitish. And it's going to taste really good on top of the bread that is warm, and it'll melt and just go over it, and it'll be a great finishing touch. And it's really simple for this glaze. All right, so now our bread should be done. So what I'm gonna do though, to just make sure, is I'm gonna go ahead and pull out this part very carefully, and I'm gonna stick a toothpick in the top. And when I do that, I'm gonna pull it out, and if anything sticks to the toothpick, I know it's not done. But nothing did, so that means it is done. Now what I'm gonna do is take the bread out, and I'm gonna let it rest for 2 minutes. And immediately after those 2 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and stick the glaze on there, and it'll be ready to go. Taking it out of the pan as carefully as possible, I'm gonna quickly drizzle some of the glaze.
Bread is done, and it will definitely taste great.
That was my balanced blueberry bread. I hope you enjoyed and learned a little something from this easy cooking for kids online recipe. The full recipe will be next to the video and in the description below. Thanks for watching.